if you speak a European language, you probably use actual and actually incorrectly. Actual and actually are false friends with similar words in European languages. Actual, the English word actual, does not mean these words in these languages. Okay, so the meaning of these words is not the meaning of actual in English. That's very important. The meaning of these words, they have a relation to time. And the English word for these European words is current. Okay, current, not actual. Example, the current temperature is -3 degrees Celsius. So we have the concept of time here. We're talking about now, the temperature now. So in other words, in French, if you have a sentence, la température actuelle est de -3 degrés Celsius, then that means the current temperature is -3 degrees Celsius. Okay, not the actual temperature. And it's the same with actually. Actually in English does not mean these words in European languages. The English word for these European words is currently. Example, Mark currently lives in London. And this means Mark lives in London now. That is where he lives now. So in French, if you have Marc habite actuellement à Londres, that translates to this. Mark currently lives in London, not Mark actually lives in London. So, I hope you're all asking this question. So, what is the meaning of actual and actually? Well, let's find out. Actual is an adjective, and it means real or true. Here's an example. This man is called Lee Child. He is a famous British author. Here is one of his books. But his actual name is James Grant. His actual name is James Grant. So that means Lee Child is not his real name. Lee Child is not his real name. Lee Child is his pen name. It's the name he uses as a writer, as an author. But his actual name is James Grant. This means his real name, his true name. Mr. Smith tells people he is 63, but his actual age is 75. So he lies. He tells people he is 63, but his real age is 75. His actual age is 75. Let's look at some more examples. So just a reminder, it's an adjective meaning real or true. She knows a lot of people, but doesn't have any actual friends. Okay, so she knows a lot of people, but she doesn't have any real friends. She doesn't have any true friends. And this is unfortunately very common with social media. I think we all know lots of people on social media, but are they actual friends? And very often, I don't think they are. Okay. Another example, the actual number of protesters was 1,320. So the real number or the true number of protesters was 1,320. We could say, for example, the media estimated that there were 1,000 protesters, but the actual number, the real number, was 1,320. Actually is an adverb, and it means in fact or really. Example: Mark says, Claire was the DJ at the party last night. And David says, oh, how is she? And Mark replies, I don't know. I didn't actually speak to her. I didn't actually speak to her. So this means, well, in fact, I didn't speak to her. Claire is smiling, but she is actually unhappy. So this means she is smiling, but really she is unhappy. Okay, really she is unhappy. We use actually to correct mistakes. Example: the manager says, hello Paul, pleased to meet you. And the man replies, actually, my name is Peter, not Paul. So actually, then a comma, and then the correction. Okay, this is the mistake. So actually, my name is Peter. So we're saying in fact. Claire says, don't forget the meeting tomorrow. And Sarah replies, actually, the meeting is next Wednesday. So we're using actually to mean in fact, the meeting is next Wednesday. So we are correcting somebody. We are correcting somebody's mistake. If you're enjoying the video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Okay, the lesson is not finished. We're continuing. We also use actually to give more information. John says, I met the client at the conference. Actually, we had lunch together. So here we are giving the first part of the information, some information, and here we're giving even more information. Okay, we're giving part of the story and then more of the story with more information. Okay, so we're adding information. Claire says, Paris is my favorite city. Actually, I'd like to live here. So she is giving some information here and giving even more information here. She is developing the story. Okay. We also use actually to show that someone's expectations are correct. Example: so this is a couple and they're watching a film. And David asks, are you enjoying the film? And Claire replies, yes, I am actually. Yes, I am actually. David's expectation is that Claire is enjoying the film. So David thinks that Claire is enjoying the film, but he's checking. He just wants to check. And Claire confirms, yes, your expectation is correct. Yes, I am actually. Okay, so yes, I am actually. Okay. And we can also use actually to show that someone's expectations are not correct. So this is the opposite of the previous use. Example: David asks, was the weather nice in London? And Mark replies, actually, no, it rained all week. Okay, so David was asking a question. David asked a question. His expectation was that the weather was nice in London. But this expectation was not correct. So Mark says, actually, no, it rained all week. Sarah asks, "Did you pass your driving test?" And John replies, "Actually, no, I failed." Okay, so again, Sarah asked a question. Her expectation was that John had passed his driving test, but that expectation was not correct. So John says, "Actually, no, I failed." Okay, so that's a very common use of actually. Okay, there we go. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you are preparing for the IELTS exam, click here for information about our course.